Shama musical. There are crimes in many places, in every community, you can see. So if you see crime reported, don't tell her in your hand for the real authority. Well, it can't take care of it. Crime stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see a human target, I mean you check. Do well for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. You must call to report it. Crime stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime stopper, Liberia. From the center to interior, Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Cyan.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia. From the center to interior, Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
A very good morning. Good morning, wherever you're joining our broadcast. We'd like to welcome you to the program from the Print News here on Freedom Communications Incorporated. As a matter of fact, this is the May 13 edition of the program from the Print News. Wherever you're joining us, we'd like to say welcome to it right here. My name is Esther Daku, and of course, we have a lot this morning to talk about. Ali, you just check the link. I don't know if you're following the show. I send the link, so you just go ahead and check it. And so this is it. We're back again with another edition of the program from the Print News. And so let's quickly recognize our sponsor, Mayuba and Sons Incorporated, our sponsors, Crime Stoppers Liberia, and also the Exodus Best Price store on the Gully Street and the Old Road. It's good to be here again, where we can all share our thoughts on the various issues of national concern. So this morning, like usual, we have some local dailies on our decks. We added a new local daily to it today. We have the Front Page Africa, we have the Daily Observer, and we have the what's this new paper name? We have the Eyes of the Globe. So we have the Eyes of the Globe, we have the Daily Observer, we have the Front Page Africa, and we're going to be sharing all of the stories with you this morning that are on the three papers. Okay, and we're still looking forward to having our Radio Olabi partner. Aliyu just rang my line, but I can't go ahead and take call. So okay, I think we have Aliyu now. Okay, so we have Aliyu. Aliyu Masale, welcome to the program. Good morning.
Good morning, Esther. Good morning. How you doing, my sister?
I am fine. It's good to have you today. Been a while though.
Yeah, I'm just here and there.
No, true.
Yes. Good morning, Mama Labira. This is Aliyu Masali from Baltimore, Maryland, USA. Glad to be here this morning.
Okay, so like I said earlier, we have three local dailies, and so we will begin with the front page Africa. Let's see what we have here. We have the meaning of full-scale investigation. Nangwe calls for scientific probe into Cletus Noah's death amid allegation against him. The meaning of full-scale investigation. Nangwe calls for scientific probe into Cletus Noah's death amid allegation against him. This story is on page 8. I'm interested. And let's go through some lines of the story and see if we can bring you a couple of lines. Okay, we have right here the many of full-scale investigation number calls for scientific probe into Cletus Noah's death amid allegation against him. The chief of office staff to former President George Manewia Eugene Lenangwe on Monday called for a full police investigation, including a scientific autopsy into the death of Cletus Noah following what he described as grave and baseless accusations leveled against him by the deceased brother. Speaking to journalists after his appearance before the Liberian National Police on Monday, May 12th, Nangwe said he had been invicted by authorities following a formal complaint he submitted in response to serious allegations made against him by Mr. Shane Tozo, the brother of the late Noah. I came here today at the invitation of the police to follow up on the former complaint I made regarding serious allegations directed at me by the brother of the late Mr. Cletus Noah. Number two reporters. The brother has accused me without evidence of being responsible for Mr. Noah's death. These are grave allegations, and due to this seriousness, I deem it necessary to formally write to the police and request a full-scale investigation into the matter. Nangwe said he was questioned by the police and used the opportunity to formally request that a scientific autopsy be conducted to determine the actual cause of death. This is the only objective way to determine what really happened, he stressed. He confirmed that the Liberian National Police has since contacted St. Moses Funeral Home to temporarily hold Mr. Noah's body as the investigation progresses. I welcome this step and appreciate that the matter is being treated seriously, Nambwe added. Expressing shock at Mr. Noah's passing, Nambwe described him as a friend, a former colleague in government. The last time I saw him was around April 14 or 15. We watched a football match together. He appeared healthy and active, and I was shocked to learn of his passing, he recalled. Numbers emphasized that the hospital where Mr. Noah reportedly died should be the first point of contact in determining what led to his death. He said if foul play is suspected, as his brother claims, then a scientific investigation is required and the police must take the lead in uncovering the truth. He criticized the public nature of the allegations, which also implicated a former minister, and stressed the need for transparency and factual clarity. Nangwe maintained that he is not in the position to determine the cause of the death by himself. All I'm asking is for is a truth, for the truth to be established professionally and scientifically, he said. Number revealed that Mr. Tozer contacted him via WhatsApp on May 7, accusing him and others of being involved in the death. He said Tozer also ensured threats, stating that he should wait for the burial and that he was coming for him. These allegations are both serious and damaging, not only to my reputation, but also present a threat to my personal safety and security, he said, noting that he has submitted the screenshots and the transcript of the WhatsApp conversation to the police as evidence to ensure that the truth is established and to dispel any misinformation or suspicion. I formally request the Liberian National Police to conduct a preliminary investigation into the death of Mr. Cletus Noah. Okay, let's leave you there and then look at more stories. This is sad. I mean, the most critical test open letter to President Joseph Nimabaka, Liberia, UNSC, but a misplaced Buhari delivered the arrest agenda first. Okay, the most critical test open letter to the President Joseph Nimabaka, Liberia's UNSC bait is a misplaced Buhari delivering the arrest agenda first. And this is on page 4 of this paper. We want to touch every bit and piece that we have here on our decks today. And so the story is just right here. It says, Your Excellency President Joseph Nima Bwaka, as a concerned citizen and advocate for accountability, leadership, and equitable development, I respectfully write to express the grave concern of Liberia regarding your administration's recent bid for a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council. While the symbolism of Liberia reclaiming a voice on the global stage may be appealing, we believe this pursuit is both untimely and misaligned with the urgent needs of our people, to Liberia's domestic realities, and demand immediate attention. We are grappling with a fragile economy, widespread poverty, poor infrastructure, and a disillusioned citizenry. In this context, the government's decision to prioritize international diplomacy over domestic recovery is a stark contradiction to your campaign promises under the arrest agenda. History and international prestige must not be pursued at the expense of the present day obligation to your own citizens. Let us use the basic analysis framework to assess feasibility. Can Liberia afford this bid? Yes, Liberia can legally pursue a UNSC seat as a sovereign UN member state. However, a proper policy analysis requires more than legal feasibility. It demands administrative and fiscal realism. Financial constraints. UNSC campaigns entail lobbying, international travel, and diplomatic visibility, which inflation exceeds 30%. Central Bank of Liberia 2024 50% plus poverty rate, World Bank 2023, and rising food insecurity. This ambition redirects resources from critical sectors like healthcare, education, and agriculture. For institutional capacity, Liberia underscore resource foreign service lacks the diplomatic infrastructure to compete with regional heavyweights. Opportunity cost. The millions required for this bid could rehabilitate roads, fund teacher salaries, or equip rural clinics, help rehabilitate youth struggling with drug addiction across the country. While Liberia can bid, doing so imposes as unjustifiable burden on an already fragile economy. Legitimacy. May Liberia pursue this bid legally? The bid is permissible, but the political legitimacy hangs on the public support and alignment with the national mandates. No public consultation. The UNSC bid was never part of your arrest platform. The lacks public deliberation or referendum. There is no evidence of citizen backing. For donors conference at risk, with Liberia dependent on external aid, 10% of GDP, IMF 2024, diverting focus from structural reforms and could erode trust and funding. The UNSC bid lacks democratic legitimacy and risks being perceived as elite symbolism over national interest. Normative justification. Should Liberia pursue this bid? This is the most critical test. Should Liberia, in its current condition, pursue a symbolic public seat when its citizens demand tangible change? Crisis level unemployment. Youth unemployment exceeds 85%, latest 2023. The bid creates no job, improves no roads, and funds no hospital. Arrest agenda contradiction. The electoral victory was anchored on the arrest agenda, a promise of transformation, and national rebirth. However, key pillars of that framework remain a disparate agriculture and agribusiness, despite pledges to transform agriculture into a genuine or engine of growth, farmers still lack access to modern tools, affordable equipment, or shortage of produce and reliable markets. Rural infrastructure. The nation's road remain dilapidated. Electricity and digital connectivity, essential for enterprise development and service delivery, are still absent in many rural communities. Rule of law and good governance. Not a single major corruption case has been prosecuted under your administration. Transparency remains inclusive while nepotism and inefficiency persist. Education and human capital. Teachers remain unpaid. In many instances, students lack learning materials and vocational training is limited, undermining Liberia's future workforce. Sanitation and public health. Waterborne diseases continue to threaten communities due to inadequate water and sanitation infrastructure. Currently, Monrovia is fighting for drinking water to share with its residents. Tourism and diversification. Liberia potential in ecotourism and heritage preservation remains untapped with no clear roadmap for growth. Liberia cannot afford to play anymore, Mr. President. This is a call for realignment and accountability. The path to international influence begins with credibility at home. The Liberian people did not vote for ceremonial ambitions. They voted for roads, jobs, electricity, security, healthcare, education, security, food security, a fight against corruption, asset recovery, and justice for everyone. I urge your administration to suspend the UNSC bid and redirect all associated resources to domestic recovery and accelerate the implementation of the arrest agenda. The transparent milestone and public reporting. uh, Let us adapt a Liberia first approach. Our standing in the world will improve only when the dignity of its citizens is restored. Its systems function and its economy is inclusive. A UNSCC should be a reflection of national progress, not a substitute for it. The true measure of leadership, not global applause, but local transformation. Respectfully, Prince S. Tokwa. Okay, and this is it. This is where we are gonna stop on that note. Ready for the war stage? Liberia future frame boss chicks secure historic tier as tier record run in Ghana. And that's the story. And one of the top stories here on the front page, Africa says more than three quarters Liberians approve uh, war and economic crimes quotes in latest continental survey. Making accountability possible. Confidence that a court will make accountability possible increases with respondents' level of education ranging from 63% of those with no formal schooling to 88% of those who post secondary qualification, according to the report. Rural residents, 72%, and well off citizens, 67%, are less likely to express such confidence than urbanties, 82%, and those experiencing living poverty, 77%, 81% to 81%. Okay, this story is on page 5. You can grab a copy to read that. Let's look at the final story. Rep Kofi resigns as House Speaker of Majority Black, accepts resignation, announces new election this uh, despite refusing to recognize his speakership while JFK resigned. Interesting. Let me relax enough so I can be able to bring you this story this morning. It's right here on page 2 of the front page Africa. Let's quickly come here. It says, after months of legal and political turmoil, Representative J. Fonati Kofa has officially resigned as Speaker of the House of Representatives. In his resignation address on Monday, Kofa was frank about his reasons, citing what he called the executive branch failure to honor a Supreme Court ruling affirming his speakership. Okay, the Supreme Court made a clarification. I think even the smallest child in school should understand what the court said. It said Fonati is a speaker. Any other thing that happened was illegal. Kofa stated. Then the rules of the game shifted when the president said he would go back to his original posture, which was to deal with a majority bloc. Once that changed, we had to assess our own participation in what is going on. Well, okay. It says President Joseph Boakai has faced growing criticism for his previous role in a prolonged impasse within the House. Many expected him to fully implement the Supreme Court's ruling and extend all privileges and immunities to Speaker Kofa, including security. Instead, Boakai responded by stating he will work with a functional quorum, effectively endorsing the majority bloc that refused to recognize the court's decision. Kofa said the situation had become untenable, especially after intelligence of potential violence at the capital and increasing militarization within the legislature. Our choice was to either go tomorrow to the capital and risk a repeat of violence or to avoid that. One of the things we tried to do is avoid it, Kofa said. Majority Bloc has suffered sharp criticism for floating the Supreme Court ruling, citing Rep. Richard Kuhn open defiance and Rep. James Colley threat to initiate impeachment proceedings against the justices. The bloc also withheld the salaries and benefits of lawmakers. It has suspended actions the Supreme Court later ruled as illegal. How long can I ask my 60 employees who have not been paid for 6 months to stay on? Kofa asks. How can I ask my colleagues who have endured this battle to keep going, especially when we began losing some of our most committed members after the president's statement? Addressing rumors that he was paid to step down, Kofa strongly denied any financial inducement. After I wanted to take my money, to take money for this, that would have happened before the ruling, when it would have been more valuable. We have gone 6 or 7 months, 6 or 7 months with no pay, no gas, nothing. So at the end of all this, it's unfair to say we took money. The only thing we want is for our legitimate benefits and salaries to be restored. He confirmed that discussions were held prior to his resignation concerning the reinstatement of his suspended colleagues. Yes, we had discussions. I indicated my intent to resign and requested that the salaries and benefits of my colleagues be paid. That led to another meeting during which they received assurance that this would happen. Regarding staff members still detained in connection to the Capitol building fire, Kofa called for international investigators to take over the probe. We have always said this: I cannot negotiate a criminal matter in a political statement. It suggests I am guilty because this case has been so politicized. I'm calling on the international investigators to handle it. Whatever their findings are, we will accept. Asked whether his resignation was part of a deal for a new speaker to be elected, he responded, I can negotiate the law. Once I resign, a vacancy is created, and by law, a new speaker must be elected. That a constitutional mandate on what lies ahead of him, Kofa revealed plans to publish a book titled From 1 to 73 The Conspiracy at the Capitol, chronicling his order. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has acknowledged receipt of Kova's resignation and announced plans to hold a fresh election today. Tuesday, May 13, 2025, in a statement issued by Press and Public Affairs Director Robert Benjamin Haynes, the House confirmed the session which began at 10 a.m. to elect a new speaker in accordance with the Constitution and rules. The House remains committed to upholding democratic values and working diligently in service to the Liberian people. The statement concluded. Although the majority bloc previously ignored the Supreme Court's verdict, affirming Kofa's position, observer says this development presents Deputy Speaker Thomas Fowler with an opportunity to restore credibility and order to the House by presiding over a fair and transparent election within a 60-day period required by law. Let's leave you here. You can grab a copy to read the story in depth, but that's where we're going to stop you. That's all we have. I'm sorry. That's all we have from the front page Africa this morning. Let's quickly dive into our next local daily on my decks. We have the Daily Observer, and it says, "What next after Kofa's resignation? House leadership crisis expected to end or more drama on the way?" And we just see the story says, "Staten Island, Liberia launches bid for NY City Council." T.D. Brown, a candidate for the North Shore City Council seat, appears in an undated photo. Okay, and then this is home. The future is where Orange Liberia CEO declares set to inaugurate iconic building headquarters. And this is it. The lawmakers fake logging company. The lawmakers fake logging company. This story is on page 10, and the caption doesn't give me anything, so I want to go in a little bit. Let's see some lines. We're not going to go, all through it. We're just going to go through some lines. And what next? Where's the story? Okay. It says in mid last year, African Finch Logging Limited was established to trade timber and other forest products. The company is owned by Finch General Trading Fees, a UAE-based firm according to its articles in corporation and business registration certificate. But African Finch did not declare its beneficial owners, the human beings who own the company based on its legal and other financial documents. The deadline obtained. This is a breach of the beneficial ownership regulation. Ownership regulation, okay? The 2023 regulation requires companies to register their beneficial owners as a way of combating money laundering, tax evasion, and terroristic financing. The Daylight was rating has rating the Liberia Business Registry over African Finch illegal registration. Now alerted by African Finch suspicious documents, Daylight investigation or investigator its parent company, Finch General Trading UAE status. The investigation found that Finch General is not registered in the Ajman Business Registry as Africa Finch legal documents claim. Finch General is not even recorded in the UAE's database. Further search in the organized crime and corruption reporting project. Ali, one of the world's largest databases of companies, got the same results. To verify that information, we searched and found Blue Carbon, the Emirate firm that unsuccessfully signed a carbon credit deal with Liberia in 2003. We also found Prestige Constructions LLC obtained from a tax company's website as a sample of a real certificate. Next, the Daylight reviewed Finch General's website and found more issues. The website's host, named Ceylon, is a legitimate website host. However, it is widely credited with offering privacy protection services, which Express says can be exploited to hide individuals' entities. Finch General Trade is located as SM at SM office HI 222D Ajam Free Zone, according to the website. But the geolocation, it provides points to ASL Logistics, a shipping and distribution company. Also, the website directs users to verify its legitimacy via another website for official business instead of the official admin free zone domain for verification red flags. With Finch General UAE status unconfirmed and issues with its website, Discover reporters review a Finch General Business Certificate that Thomas Romeo Quia, representative of Sino County District 1, posted on Facebook. Quia had posted the document to disprove the newspaper's report that he admitted to begin he admitted to being on Africa Finch board of directors. A previous daylight investigation has cited town folks and local officials in Numport District, Sino County, who alleged he co-owned Africa Finch. An African Finch executive confirmed Kuya's control of the company, telling the daylight to speak to the honorable on company matters. Locals accused Square of bribing and intimidating them into signing an MOU with Africa Finch on the same day it was introduced. Africa Finch has signed a contract of logging in the Numopo community forest in Sino Queyan's district. Kuya denies the allegations. Daylight's review of the documents Kuya posted found several discrepancies consistent with a forgery. The evidence suggests it was used to register African Finch in Liberia, as it was notarized the same day as the article of incorporation. Finch General Trading Fake Business Incorporation certificate that was posted on Representative Thomas Romeo Kuya on Facebook first. The document contains a passport with identification number 167557. However, the format used is invalid and short for a UAE passport. UAE passport numbers typically consist of 8 digits, including letters and not 6. Second, it was issued on August 11, 2020, 7 years after the company's registration on September 26, 2003, a red flag. Also, it lacks QR codes and barcodes, important features on UAE business certificates for verifying a company's legal status. This is just Liberia, I tell you. But let's run to the back page of let's let's quickly run to the back page, and it's just Victoria LACC holds award ceremony, and this was also here on yesterday. But let's run to this paper, the eyes of the globe, okay? And I want to run some headlines from here. Orange delegate state of act, uh icon 16 building on May 15 says we are aware we are here to stay, and that's it. And then we see photographs of some staffs of Orange Liberia. Let's come to the back page. Speaker Kofa finally resigns. We've already brought that. Boaka congratulates Pope Leo. Is an old one, and so far so good. These are all of what we have to take from the eyes of the globe. Let's quickly take word from our sponsors. When we come back, we'll bring in our talking point.
It's about musical. There are crowds in many places. In every community, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't tell law in your hand for the right authority. That it can't take care of it. Crime stopper here for us. Bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor. If you see a you must talk it. And I mean you cheche. do it for your safety. If you see I don't keep it, you my part to report it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia. From the center to interior, Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, old man Sam Sion.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia. From the center to interior, Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Robbie, why you taking?
I said, darling, you look so worried.
Charles, I'm worried because I don't know where to get stuff for my shop and restaurant.
Oh, come on, man. Haven't you heard about Exeter's Best Price Store on Gurley Street and Smart Road Junction on the Old Road?
Oh, no, Charles. Tell me about it.
Exeter's Best Price Store got everything for your shop and restaurant. And the good news is that they have reduced the prices of club beer products and imported beverages. So to keep that graduation party, wedding reception, and whatever occasion don't until the break of dawn, Exeter's Best Price Store is that place for you.
Is that all?
No, they have for the first time introduced on the ORP market Buffalo Revive that comes with 4 different flavors: Cool Blue, Apple Kiwi, Full Red, and Fitness Orange. It's good for athlete and everyone. For wholesale and retail supply, call cell number 0770-617-575. Exeter's Best Price Store on Gurley Street and the Old Road Smart Road Junction. We are your cheaper wholesale and retail store.
He said, when you want some more, I provide. So we start to talk. Come on, I'm going to 20 pop. Put it to each kid. Be like living sense in her.
A very pleasant welcome back from that break. Of course, we're back with our discussion. You listen to all of the stories, the very important trending stories from the various papers. But let's hear from Aliyu.
Esther, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Thank you. Thank you for the reading there. First of all, I listened to the other people while you were talking about Liberia on this issue about the Security Council. Yes, where I think we're trying to get a seat, a permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council. And you see, from the beginning of this whole thing, we've been saying that this entire rescue agenda, those people came with is just a complete contradiction. Because even we don't know the meaning of that rescue said. Because they said they came to rescue, and what we are seeing today is on the contrary. Gerhard Joseph Baka is a walking contradiction when he said one thing, he's doing another thing. He's doing far from what he said. And this is how his entire rescue agenda is. We want the best for Liberia, but if we can get a president who does not believe in transparency, who does not believe, he doesn't respect even the constitution that made him to be a president today, the rule of law. See what is happening in our country for the past 6, 7 to 8 months now, legislative impact, which have been masterminded by this president. You think these are things you will be doing, you want to get it on the United Nations or Security Council, where ECOWAS came in and your political juntas, gangsters and hooligans that you put in the country, you put them together to destabilize the peace and democracy of our country. They refuse to listen to this thing ECOWAS today. You think this thing is happening? You think those people will go waste their time to say they're coming to vote for you? These old men have become a serious disgrace and embarrassment to our country. The one mistake Liberia has ever made is to have Joseph Boakai as president. This is so embarrassing for our country.
Mm.
As old as this man is, why dignity he brought to our country today? So that whole issue, I will always say I don't hate this government, because when I hate the government, I will be one of the stupidest person. Because Liberia is all we have. We want the best out of our country, but it is so sad, or it is so unfortunate to have Joseph Boakai at his age, the amount of years he spent in government, to come to power today, and he has become a puppet president. He just surround himself by a bunch of criminals running or criminal cartels. They say they are running a government. There is no transparency. All the corruption that is going on in the country, those allegations, Joseph Boakai only go ahead to suspend people, or for example, Aliyu Masale for CCP party, and probably I endorsed President Boakai during the runoff election. So the moment they talk about any corrupt allegation on me, he's going to suspend me. But if I'm for the Unity Party, I won't be suspended. If I'm someone related, I won't be suspended. And you listen to those beheaded chickens with chicken brains which have no sense of direction. They say the papa working. During George Weah, he never used to suspend people. It's better you don't do it at all than to be selective. So this issue about us getting sick, we pray for the best, but with this kind of lawlessness or having such a president carry on this kind of thing, since Joseph Boakai came to power, he continued to undermine the peace and stability of our country. There is no sanity to our country anymore under this leadership. This is so sad. And to the issue of this speakership election today, they are carrying on. Yesterday, finally, we saw it that Fonati Kofa has finally resigned as Speaker of the 55th Legislature. He is now a former Speaker. So, we will tell these people, whether CDC come to power, but in next administration, those people will be persecuted. Rachel Nangbeku, you call yourself a professor at a youth. You know, I can really understand Liberia, the kind of country we are, that people don't have time for their integrity. They care less about their character. Because anything you're doing, you should think. Be someone of integrity, your character tomorrow, this thing will go after you. And I always say this because some of us we find ourselves in a country today where integrity matters. Your character matters. Anything you do, you should think about the implication tomorrow. What will happen to your children, your family, how they will be looked at in the public there tomorrow. I'm sitting here looking at Rachel Kule calling role, Honorable Rachel Nagbeku present. You who are passing around here, you say you speak up, we will persecute you. There's nonsense that people continue to do in our country. Liberia, we are the oldest country in West Africa. And we always do things that bring disgrace and embarrassment to our country. Liberia good at setting record. Why the good record we always setting? Bad records. As old as Joseph Boakai is, having two speakers in the country. You see? And he masterminded this whole thing. Today, Fonati Kopa has resigned. People that, oh yes, then we said it. But you people were parading yourself, Recheku was speaker. Why today he said the answering person to his name? Why? So he was impersonating as a speaker, he needs to be persecuted, and he will. Joseph Boakai, you like it, you might pray let Joseph Boakai be president till the end of the year, the end of the world, so he can protect you.
I tell you.
And that clause that the people get in their constitution or in the house wherein you can just put certain group of gangsters together to remove a speaker. If we get any speaker, they should start to tell that nonsense out.
You know,
You see?
and Ali, I'm not cutting you off. That's why somebody said, how can you be employed at an institution, or you say you work at an institution, you resign today and come out with your application letter the next day? I mean, it's funny
The
that
next day, you see,
because
My sister,
Are you not
these are
seeing
the
her right
people.
now? I mean,
Yes, these are.
it's really though.
It's so funny. You see, those people just bring disgrace to our country. And who mastermind is the president because he doesn't want to wear opposition speaker. Why you all the time for that people over there? The new people bring any bill that he didn't sign. Even me here, I'm a sedition. I think one time on the platform, I was getting verbal for that and then God said, "Oh no, you can't say this, you can't say that about the speaker, this and that, this and that." Because we in this country will see what can happen here. Now you think you expect for Donald Trump to be in power for you to get a speaker from for you to get a speaker for Democrat and he will just agree with everything Donald Trump will say? No. But Funati Kofa said, I'm here to work in the interest of the Liberian people. Anything Joseph Baka bring, what it is in the interest of the people, I'm going to make sure I will pass it because Liberia is all we have. But because this poor man, he came with that mindset to come and destroy our country for them to steal.
Bypass the
Because he
PPCC
said,
yellow machine.
yes, no machine, yeah, about the yellow machine said that one will not happen because they were they respected. So Joseph Boakai want get somebody that they can use to rape our country up. That's all. To break all of the laws. When you say today they want to be causing, you can cause me anything. I don't care. They see people that will be on Facebook causing me, causing my wealth, and they see people can take food, they be calling you, tell your husband to stay away from what is happening in the country. When you now go on Facebook, you cause my wife, then you taking food to call her. You will not, but I can just look at you. I came from your mindset. I don't go there with you. That why I can get your other foolishness you can be doing. This all make him to power and just brought our country, put our country, he disgraced our country to the lowest. These are people who claim to be the most educated people. See what they are doing today in the country. They said George Weah was a footballer. He doesn't know anything. Today, if you say you will grade Joseph Baka and George Weah is on top of Joseph Baka with all for the 2 years experience.
Mm.
12 years as vice president. He couldn't manage his own life. He came to power today. That's why he want Rachel cool them. So they can do budget manipulation all the time he get a share. Because that nonsense, it will not work with Funati Kofa. This is so sad for our country. When you say if people want to be called, I get answer, me I get tasky. You can go on Facebook, you call me, you go on TikTok, you go on Instagram, you can see me responding to you because Liberia is the second lowest IQ country in the world, the eighth poorest country in the world. So most of you
Okay,
people
so,
have serious mental problems. Most of you have mental problems, so I don't go there with you. Like our former first lady said, Michelle Obama, when they go high, you go low. When they go low, you go high. Now you people are high, I go low with you. But this old man, he have brought nothing to our country but embarrassment and disgrace. Seriously, my sister, thank you.
thank you so much, Ali, for your contribution. And let me just share what I think. Right, with the issue of Liberia having a non-permanent seat on the United Nations board. I mean, it's a good thing, but I believe that there were a lot of things promised uh, by this president. You know, most of our politicians use campaign to get the people on board. You know, with all of their rhetorics, and stuff. On the IRS agenda, I asked this very question on yesterday when I was here. On the IRS agenda, we saw agriculture. Did we not see agriculture? Was agriculture not part of this entire IRS agenda? How far are we? I mean, we've gone a year now. We've gone a year now. And this is the fifth month. We're in 2025. Mr. President, how far are we with our agriculture sector? Are we having smallholder farmers already, with tools and farming and all of that? Because, I mean, these are the kind of things that when the people hear about, they definitely want to run to your end because look at what the country is. This country is 177 years old and we do not have a single pin. I mean, we cannot feed ourselves, but yet we call ourselves an independent country. These should be, these kind of things should be the priority. Because I believe the money you will take to go spend out there, because this is about rallying other African nations to vote you. All of the money allotted for these things. Don't you think, Mr. President, that there are way more important things that the people need in this country right now? With the unemployment, the unemployment of youth, I mean, high on the increase, the poverty rate, education, the health sector, the agriculture sector, sanitation, water, and everything. I mean, Mr. President, you promised the Liberian people and you show us your IRS agenda. Why are you not working with them, Mr. President? So far, what we've seen, you are patching the roads. That's what we're seeing. And most of the projects you are completing and running around the place with, that you're doing this, you're doing that, these were projects that were signed by past government. So the money was already allotted for it, Mr. President. What are you doing? There are way more important things to prioritize. We're sitting here talking about an allegation with a representative of Sino County. Rep Kuya has an allegation, and he talked to his Facebook page and denied the allegation that he's on the board of that particular company. That logging company in Sino County there. I mean, these kind of things cause, I mean, the people to think like this country is going nowhere. I, for one person sitting here, these are our natural resources, for God in heaven's sake. I mean, we're angry, we're talking about it, even though we are not benefiting from it. How can a country have all of these minerals? All of these minerals. And you have concession companies that are purporting, to have gotten license to operate, or that have gotten registered to operate, but most of these things are, lies. People just come and use few of our lawmakers. That's why I told someone, Liberia problem is that house. Liberia biggest problem. It is not every country in Africa that deserves to have a democratic form of government. To be honest with you, that house is Liberia's biggest problem. Somebody will come with a good mindset. The moment they enter that house, they get indoctrinated. Darius Delon was out here prior to him going there. What did the man promise us? Me, are we seeing any of these things? Delon is quiet. The car he talked about that was too expensive. He was not going to ride. What is he riding right now? I mean, the different budgets, the different envelopes. Is he not taking these envelopes at the detriment of the Liberian people? As long as it benefits them and their family, go check them. Majority of the lawmakers that you have here, their kids are not in this country, so they make any law. They don't care about you and I. I mean, they make any kind of law as long as the envelope gets in their pocket at the end of the day, that they will go and enjoy themselves and their families. I mean, what do you care about it? And I hope that this will be investigated, and whoever hand that is behind this will be brought to book. Because this is one of the things, Mr. President, that you promised us. No man is above the law. So this must be investigated. Whoever that authorized that company to be logging our logs in this country, they needs to pay for it. Liberia is not a free country where anybody can just walk in, you know, mine our minerals and leave with it. At the end of the day, one little lawmaker sitting in a house and enjoying the money while the rest of the people are just there. Have you thought about what we can do with these resources that we have in the various counties? You have the different counties, you have all of these counties got something, but yet they are not developed. We do not have stable electricity. We don't have water. We don't have a correct health care system. We don't have nothing. I mean, nothing. But yet we have natural resources. And we let these people come in and give us little or nothing, take our resources out of here, refine them, and bring them back to us and sell at a higher cost. And most of the things that they bring back to us, they're not even okay. Most of them are faulty, tier class materials. That's what we get in this country. Yet, the very things they use to manufacture these things come from here, Africa. It is sad that we're still talking about these things and we're hoping that investigation is carried on, that whoever is involved, whether it's one lawmaker, whether it's two lawmakers, that these people be brought to book. It is high time that we stand on our toes in this country and stop allowing people go with impunity. It's not going to help us. Our low-minded thinking needs to end. We are at a crossroad, and Africa is rising. If Liberia wants to remain like this forever, you can keep going ahead. And let's come to the last issue here I want to talk about. Okay, the issue of Rep Kofa's resignation. From what I listened to so far, I see reason. I mean, I understand how we all felt when we heard about his resignation. We stood with this man. We were on Facebook putting our reputation on the line and all of that. And at the end of the day, this is it. But again, you cannot continue to hold and stand for a cause that at the end of the day, your colleagues is not just him, Kofa, right? The lawmakers who are with him, their salaries have been withheld for do you know how many months? 6 months. He got about 60 staff in his office. Do you know how many months that have gone by that these guys have not taken pay? They got their families to feed, they got their kids in school. And finally, at the end of the day, your president stands up and says he's going to work with somebody with quorum. Like, I mean, what do you expect? We don't want to go back into, what we the kind of fighting we fought in this country in the past. We do not want to go back to all of these things. So at the end of the day, Richard Kuhn is also not speaker. Because how can you be a speaker and I mean go back to session and answering present from for among the rest of the lawmakers? I mean, election is gonna be held there and there's gonna be a speaker. So in as much as we're not happy for the fact that Rep Kofa resigns, Richard Kuhn is also not speaker, and we want to keep our fingers crossed and be hopeful that even when they go back to elections, that Richard Kuhn is not going to win because he's not fit to be a speaker. He's very ruthless. He does not have respect for the rule of law, including the president of this country. And so it is what it is. We want to thank you, Speaker Kofa, for putting Liberia first, putting your people first. We want to appreciate you for that. So let's go to the telephone lines quickly. Let's go to the telephone lines and engage our audience. I mean, you heard from the horse's mouth. Those of you who followed the reading, Rep Kofa is not Rep Kofa. He's not Speaker Kofa. He turned in his resignation letter on yesterday, and they will all be in session today. Rep Thomas' father is going to preside over an election, and there's going to be a new speaker. So call us on 0776 104 104 Those are the numbers you can call us on. Those of you following us via our online platform, call us on +231 886500104. Those are the numbers you can call us on and be a part of the program this morning. Okay, let's get our phones on. We have this one off, but let's take our first call. Hello, welcome.
Good morning, my sister.
Good morning. Welcome to the show. Let's hear your name and where you're calling us from.
This is old man Amadou Masari.
Mm,
You know, the country has brought frustration and pain to some of us. That's why most of the time I don't sleep. As I'm talking now, I'm not even well.
mm,
Because when things happen to you, people who are lawmakers supposed to stand, make sure the proper thing is so they don't do it. I am very much disappointed. Disappointed in a sense that the president we expect to be the person to put things in order is putting things in disorder. As I'm speaking to you, a vehicle hit me and we took that matter to the police station. And the driver, the police were there with the driver while they rushed me to the hospital. My leg got broken. And only to notice the police came back to the driver escaped. And today I'm struggling with that suffocation from country doctors to country doctors. So who do we trust now? Only God we depending on in this country. Every day things go backward. But we pray. Some of us in the mosque, we bend down, we praying to God. We praying for some of you. That my son Aliu, Masari all the way there. We praying for them. And one day God will deliver this country in the hands of the rightful people who have been maltreated.
right.
That the stranger will bear the proper humility that we need to bear. So Allah bless you all and I to my son. Manya kamae asa kemobe kwa mukena kemo kamae sobe wa pasona kemo
Amina inshallah. Amina inshallah.
Okay. Thank you very much for your contribution. Let's come to this other person quickly. Hello, welcome. Hello, welcome to the show. Let's hear you.
Yeah, Dali.
Good morning,
Good
David
afternoon.
King.
Yeah, good afternoon. Dali.
Okay, it's
Thank you
afternoon.
for that recognition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let me say good afternoon from my end here to Aliu. Aliu, good afternoon.
Yes, David, good morning from my end.
We are in trouble,
Mm.
like what Aliu said. I think the only thing that we remember working for in this country, the man who broke down the fabric of our society called Liberia. That's what I'm going to remember working for. But for me, all of the things that Waka doing in this country today, it is not a surprise to me. For me, I saw it coming. From, for Waka to work with Helen 12 years, and then you vying for the presidency. Darling, let me ask you. You're working at Freedom FM.
Yeah.
And then there's a big vacancy out there. You think who's supposed to recommend you so that you can get out that vacancy from your previous place of work?
My boss.
Who's supposed to do that? Your boss, right?
Right.
Now, if open fence sign or we not name or kind or whatever kind, none of those individuals able to recommend you. It means that, darling, you are not qualified to serve anywhere. That's why I'm actually told Liberian in a nutshell. The reason she did not endorse Waka because Manasari did not see leadership. And because Manasari did not see leadership in Waka, she said, no, I cannot put my own reputation and my image on the line for this man. So it better let you fight your own fight. And but Liberian, because
We are so toxic in our politics. And Liberia being a gullible society, this is why that people that work out today saying that they are leader for this country. Work out to what is what they will see. The citizens became noisy. Everybody started going to court with one another. Coming in court with Ure, Musa in court with Nyobli, and the whole place became very noisy and polarized. Today, Waka less than 1 year in power. The whole country noisy, no understanding, two speakers in one country, two speakers resigning at the same time, one of them running back to say he contesting. This is the kind of leadership. To tell you the ineptitude in Waka, it cannot be measured anywhere in Africa or around the world. But people who shouted here the loudest, today they are ashamed, darling.
Okay.
You people have been vindicated. You people who on the red side of history, who taught us, Liberian people, shine your eye, took over Waka. Waka is not a good choice. Today, you guys are vindicated. You guys are heroes, and Liberia will continue to remember you people as a hero. Young woman like you are hero for this country.
Mm.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, David. Let's go to another person. Hello, welcome.
Yeah, cool. Afternoon, Esther.
Good afternoon. Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Ishmael Kumara, and I call you from Kingsville this afternoon. So let me appreciate you for the program, and let me appreciate Ali there online. But the things are happening in the country. Esther, we saw it coming, and we told people even ahead of time. Unfortunately, they say within the World War III, and we never knew anything about the Canada this year. But today, we are all because the cost.
Mm.
But many people are not understanding that what is happening on Capitol Hill has a huge financial cost attached. I don't know why. I don't know what we are following up to understand that what is happening on Capitol Hill. There's someone there are trying to argue that Waka here is trying to aid. Though some of them know for sure that Waka is going to aid when the speaker of the regime even spoke. He said he's a regime speaker. And he, Waka himself, he wanted to tell us it's going to only where we go. Whereas the Supreme Court were able to come up with a split ruling. So what I want to say is that this government, instead of giving us the priority area to spend our money, hey, I don't know, but just the fight for Capitol Hill, the government has spent more than $10 billion for our money. More than that, for what we say, I thought at this time that you ask me a question, Esther, the government should have been able to prioritize your agriculture. Because on the IRS agenda, they got something called agriculture. How far have they gone to prioritize agriculture for our people? We still have Indian rice coming to the country that is being sold our market for not less than 1.6, 1.5, 1.6. And in the rural areas down the Bible, they want 1.8 or more. That is 35, 37, 38 or more. I don't know what this government is prioritizing for us. Issue of the rule of law, because the president decided to say I will suspend the constitution and I will do only politics. And he failed to understand that even the issue of politics is only being given power by the law. You cannot tell me say you run a government or you're going to politics without using the law. So I want to say this. People need to understand that this government has already known the people who claim to be more sophisticated and educated. I don't know. I don't really know what they have to offer this country. They are already so massively. So we're having another election today of new speaker. Why should we be going to another election today to have a new speaker? Because the president has come to tell us he cannot work with a particular person, even though the person was giving their all support. That people who support their Kofa were even having issue that Kofa is traveling with the president because Kofa was loyal to him. I'm a little bit disappointed. But however the case is, we are going to watch the show and see the end of it. Thank you for having me.
Okay. Let's come to this line. Hello, welcome. Good afternoon. Welcome to the show. Quickly.
Thank you. I need to get my car. A name Waka is associated with failure. For somebody to serve in a government for 12 years At the end of it all, they come back and tell you, say, I am living on loan. But we don't know, because we know the criteria of you taking loan. You know you are doing business, or you are in front of business before you take loan. But when you do it like you are living on loan, we didn't see the business that he was doing with that allowing you to take loan. In a word so that you can have nothing in an account to live on. 42 years, 12 years, you were not able to acquire anything to live on, but you could take loan to live on. Yes, the Liberian people jump around here. Some of the Liberian people jump around here. They say you are the only man. Immediately men talk about Unity Party. They insulted their former stand-up bearer for Grandma Ellen Johnson Sali. The denigrated her. He was sitting there, he allowed weaponry and order. The denigrated woman on her birthday. People then that joined together to bring this particular Unity Party government to power, it was from various political parties, the alliance of various political parties that brought them to this presidency. It took people then the Costa, it took people then the criminal, certain Waterspoon, to bring that Unity Party to life. It was there, the Senate there was there, so there was no way that you could have been able to make a debate or come back to the presidency. Coupled with what they did, there where we are. He's grossly inact, he's incompetent to carry that name, to possess that title. The president of the Republic of Liberia, when you are not able to settle the problem. Where we are today, we're going to have been here 6-7 months ago as a president who had come on the mantra of rescuing his people. That is his agenda. When are you going to rescue? When you are here to rescue yourself, your family, your ministers, and your vera, probably people that you can rescue. But where are you going to do it? Once the fight go on, there is no way that you will have serious money investors coming to the country to say they will send bill to the legislature for ratification. This is why they are here up to present. We are not seeing nothing happening. So for the offer, you want them, you get it bad. So the people that are saying, oh, so the war so that president can be still, how long you expect him to hold on? When you are the very Liberian people, you are relying. The very day Supreme Court came down without ruling when our president came and made that statement that they were well with quorum before the air could break, the Liberian people was going to take the street, take capital building, take the executive mansion, then the president retract his statement and make sure that he informed the mandate for the Supreme Court. We sat home and calling on talk show. That's what we do. We're not taking any step to back these guys. We're not taking any step to back the people. What you expect him to do? No, they were necessary. Do you fought a bullfight? Do you tell me who was the legitimate elected deputy speaker that he should be able to go up on the election years ago? And here is my disappointment. There was no way that the rule of law or chair would have participated in this election. What I expected him to do, he should have gone to court early this morning and put injunction on the election, stay order on the election, for the other processes are resolved. How do you tell us that you've been speaking up for 6 months, 7 months, immediately the speaker proper return, you said you return, you apply to contest for the seat. Then you go there and say you are going to go contest again, are you going to survive it? No! We know the work that you did, but you can't survive this thing. Play the same, they want to be the play on government, they want to go for turning over to you guys. You must want to go back to Supreme Court. Stop the election from going on. Then we can stay away from the election. You're not qualified. You're not supposed to be. You can't be. You have manipulated the guys that been under the control for the past 6-7 months.
Okay.
Are they going to change overnight? I don't care how you can take 50,000 for each of packet and give it to any of those guys.
Okay.
They will not. They will vote for Richard. Even your police from Nima County, you will see that they play.
Okay. Thank you very much. We have others on the line.
Very early. That was all a big game.
Okay, thank you very much. But that's where we have to stop you. We have others on the line. We cannot have a conversation on the phone. You just make your point and get off because we have others on the line. I'm sorry I had to cut you off. Hello, welcome. Hello.
Good morning, Sally.
Good afternoon. Go ahead. Welcome to the show.
Okay, good afternoon. Well, this is Mohammed Bond, I saw you guys on the matter of zero.
Go ahead
Well,
quickly, please.
I want to agree with Asma Star.
Mm.
There's a benefit of wrong, and I like you want to wrong for the position. Well, because Asma Star said it was what passed to the court, and let the court move all the interest in place. You want to take a day. You suspended all of the lawmakers. These are, things that are going to pay them.
We didn't cut you off. Hello, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
This is Padre Luma calling on this way now.
Go ahead.
See, we the Liberian, we get more. Not talking.
Mm.
The men need people overthrow for power. However, that is seriously getting a street. We should not keep the men up to 2029. They are telling us what they want to do 2029. No election will be held here. They will force power. This is the time to get rid of Waka and Group. Waka already paid housing salary. He's getting prepared to run away. Then I bring the industry. No armed struggle. Peaceful struggle. For having made 1 week we in the street, 2-3 weeks. Waka will give up. Don't need to be quiet on the phone every day talking. The other man to almost 30 minutes now talking. I don't know why he's saying. That during there be more. No pressure around it, man. The man will go.
Okay. Okay. Let's take another person quickly. Hello, welcome. Caller, are you there? Welcome. Oh, I don't know. I didn't cut you off. Hello. 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 Oh, I don't know what's happening here. I didn't cut you off too. Hello.
Darling Danko, how you doing, Mama?
I'm okay, man. Cece, welcome to the show. Let's hear you.
Yeah, to the public, this is my Cece, the leading expert for Claro Study General. Let me say hi to my son, Masali, and the Wish Nation man, Bakari. Let me say good morning to my big brother, Bakari. Yeah, Esther.
Yes.
Thank you for the show, my daughter. You said it all, and Ali Masali, you said it all. They will take over the time in the morning camp to start the traffic because they are Liberians. But the man called Waka is now Liberian, so you now have feeling for Liberian people. Alive. No feeling there. You are also different than the country because of president or 12 years of Malaseli. I always say they may not learn nothing. The empty score you took from there. Nothing you took from there. From Malaseli. 140, they call 40, 140 all campaign, 140 suffering all time. You spend your money on there, empty. GFP every day put that. People cry every day at the empty. They will do better than other people. So then you spending money, they don't remove people. Are you kidding me, Esther? They say they go to election. All of them believe Fatiko, but no. They make two here, but and they post two of Fatiko, and two for the court or the rule of law. Two for the court, but they say, oh, why he gave out and he step out? Well, no. They made part of fight when he wanted was the one thing today. They may want to the court and the court explain that anything you are doing was coronavirus today. They are come back. So now they say, oh, Pratik resign. Yes, because you are legitimate speaker. But I know for there, you will not resign. Say, there, don't say you resign. When you resign, who makes stuff when you resign? You not resign. Say this part, that man that got there. Why you don't say you are speaker? Why you not going to go for speaker to the content? Why you giving them plane out to the men to come and say what is the election? You say you are speaker. This is a resign. Let's go tell you say you resign. You not resign. They just packing their own car because they using. They don't send you go for one after. So I'm going to say thanks to cover and Gaza to a cover. They're not getting paid or pay that they get their pay. They put their kids in the court and they say they are Janta government. And for me, I look at their Janta government. Because they tell me, oh, it's wrong. You can't tell a lot of people. People are crying for us. They can't come and spend a crowd out there and ask the answer. Can you imagine? They're going to put money for the people who are going to want things. Who are all Because I'm going to out the last night. But one day they get it far. Okay, even this morning. So you see the bills of you money going in. That day you may get going in. All those spend money, but people will spend money. People are taking care of this lost up for what they lost. But what we look here, what the government is planning to do, that men will win. Look here, because they made it, but all for full sake, you will be still and focus on a year. So these things that people are looking for, what they find you, they offer it, they shop for you, who get that. So I let them receive. Because when you get to force people up it, and boy, no longer a car. You know what I'm saying? But you know, then they will drag it to a post, and you can pay for all the damage. Now, what you expect, when you fighting her, to say because people, when they're going back in the bed, so is that? And what's the other thing going in the bed? Why you going in the bed? Anything you want to make, you're not a friend. What do you do because people? So let me bring for back over fire or who fight, and they go at the salad, get the D, therefore, when they wrong way, president, no, when they right way, so you make the signs of leave. Because they're stopping the pitch, they're stopping it. Extra, you know, and you don't wait till your phone, your father, you just try to on a salary, you can't get it. Therefore, we just get people outside, they will go protest, you can't see them outside, extra. You will get it last time, you can't see them. National movement, go see them. No, they will not go there. Who go in there, you will not see them, they will run away. The man say, I want that, because we don't want to go outside, go there. Come on, will not step for anybody here to say, I will fight to the end of their attack. No, you will not do it. He play his part, and he also will judge you tomorrow. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you, my city, and that's all the time we have. Ali, you let's get your party statement quickly, and so we can leave. Ali, you are you there?
Esther, can you
Yes,
hear me?
yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Thanks to all the callers here for taking their time to make their own contribution on the show. Like as we say, we pray for the better for our country. Liberia is all we have, even though we are already in a mess. And this mess we are going to be into it. You know, for you to dedicate our country to a failure, Joseph Baka spent 42 years in government and he couldn't manage his own life. He became a failure. And voting for Joseph Baka as a president of the Republic of Liberia, we are just dedicated our country to a failure. But we pray we are already in that mess. Those people who put him there for them to enrich themselves, let it continue. But those guys from the majority blood Richie Fu, you all wait and see the next government to come in power. You guys are going to be prosecuted. This nonsense must stop. You people can bring disgrace to our country, and all because Joseph Baka came to destroy our country. Just as the other caller said, now if you working over there and then you go you vie for position and you cannot get recommendation from within the
Uh, hello, hello. Well, Ali, we can't hear you, but folks, we want to say thank you to all of you who participated. Thanks for all of you who listened, in the background and stuff. Uh, we will be here again on to. Okay, we have a holiday on tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 14th of May, and it's Unification Day, so we will not be on here tomorrow. But trust us, we will be here on Thursday for the What's on Your Mind edition of the program from the Pre News. My name is Esther Daku. Aliv Masale was here. To have yourselves a great day and a holiday on tomorrow. Bye bye.